Piyush Garg is a truly authority in the field of full stack development. He works as a software engineer at Emitter. Besides being an educator, Sir also runs his own YouTube channel. With over 5 years of experience in the industry and wealth of knowledge, Sir will guide us on a transformative journey to understand the art of full stack mastery. Whether you are a seasoned developer looking to enhance your skills or a beginner eager to embark on the full stack journey, this talk is designed to inspire and empower you. So, guys, prepare to expand your horizons, challenge your limits, and unlock the full potential of your development prowess. So, without any further delay, let's give a warm welcome to our guest speaker, Mr. Piyush Garg sir, to embrace the you. Get ready to be enlightened, inspired, equipped with the tools to conquer the world of full stack development. Thank you and enjoy the talk. Welcome, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for welcoming me. So, hey everyone, I cannot see you all. I would request that is there any way that I can see the audience? It will be really handy for me to talk. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. So, hey everyone, as you already know that like I'm working as a software engineer at MIT, and in this talk, I want to talk about the problems. I think I'm able to hear my own voice. Okay, I'll just do one thing. I'll just mute the audio. Okay. So in this session, I want to talk about that how you guys can become a full stack developer. What exactly is a full stack developer, and what are the mistakes that you should avoid? Okay, so there are certain frameworks, there are certain steps that you should take if you want to become a full stack developer. Now, one thing that I want to ask you all is that how many of you want to be in a development role? Okay, so like there are two kinds of role in the IT sector. Okay, you have development role, which in which you actually write code, the people who write code, development, and you have non-development roles as well. For example, testing, Q&A engineer, DevOps engineer, etc. So can you all raise your hands, those who really want to go into the coding part, those who actually want to write code in the industry? Can you all like raise your hands who wants to go into the development part? Okay, that's great. That's great. I can see that maximum of you wants to go into the development part, and that's really cool. How many of you are actually doing coding right now? How many of you are like, putting some extra effort to learn coding, like from YouTube or from somewhere else, and actually you are like into the coding? How many of you are actually coding? That's great. It's a good majority. Yeah, cool. And how many of you want to like just start? Like you all are in second year. How many of you want to just get started? Like, you're waiting for the right framework. Like you want to get started into coding, but you have no idea like what to do, how to start and all. Cool. So I think we have like 50-50 ratio. That's cool. So in this particular talk, I want to talk like if you want to go into development, what kind of developments you can do, right? What kind of developments you can do? Like you can go into the front end development, you can go into the back end development, you can become a full stack developer, you can go into mobile development, you can go into iOS development. So the development field is very vast and is highly paid. Okay. So if you want to go into development part, you have made the right decision, that is school. Now the thing is that how to get started, right? What to do, what to learn. So the thing is that, see, when I was in college, one thing is that whenever you start to do something, okay, make sure that you have less friction. Okay, make sure that you have less friction. What do you mean by having less friction? If you, like, for example, you have mobile development, right? You have web development. Okay, how many of you want to be a web development? How many of you want to be a web developer? Okay, so you all want to be web developer. So I'm assuming that rest, like besides these, so you want to become like mobile developer, right? You want to become a mobile developer. Now, thing is that I would highly suggest that if you are in second year, I would highly suggest that you should go into like full stack development using the web developer path. Okay, why? Because if you try to choose the path of like iOS development or Android development, you will have a lot of friction. Okay, and there might be chances that you will quit this particular field. Okay, the point is that you should start with something that is really quick to learn, quick to implement, and quick to ship. Okay, I started my web development journey, okay, as a front-end developer, and I assume that you all know HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. I think you have already done that part, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, right? Like if yes, you can raise your hands if you have like done HTML, CSS, and JavaScript part. Cool. And have you built any projects? Like, do you have any projects? Like, how many of you have built some good projects like you are really proud of? Okay, so you have not built a project. So the thing is that let's discuss that how to learn. Okay, so this is the most important thing, that how to learn. So you know what, I'll just share up my story as well, okay, side by side. So as a like normal college going student, so what I was doing is I was learning via YouTube and paid courses. So like for example, we watch YouTube videos a lot, we watch some paid courses, right? We purchase some paid courses and we do learn like HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. We learn more technologies such as React, we learn a lot of things. So what happened? Okay, so I just want to convey that what I want to say through my story. So what happened? Like when I was in first year, I started like coding websites, like building up some servers, and all my learning was through like YouTube and paid courses. So what happened when I was in my fourth year? Okay, so I got a job. I was very lucky to get a job very quickly. And what happened when I was in job, I had a lot of confidence. Okay, I had a lot of confidence, and I used to think that I have a lot of skills. Okay, so having a very high confidence with very low skills is very dangerous. Okay, it's a very deadly combination. So when I was at very high confidence, I walked into the company. I was like, in few years I'll be the CTO of this company, I know a lot of things. So what happened, I didn't knew that how things work in the industry. Okay, because like I was learning just from YouTube and paid courses, and we really don't know what happened in the industry. Okay, I was really too confident. Like my confidence at like was at in the clouds. Okay, in the space. So what happened, first of all, what happened when I got access to the code was too big, too vast. Like it was like around 6 GB of code. And I was like, hey, what is this? Like how, what I'm going to do? So my confidence on the day one to the moon, and next day to the core of the earth. Okay, so my confidence like drastically broke. Okay, and I was like, hey, like how to do, I don't even know how to set up this, like how this big code. Okay, so basically what I want to tell you is like I will be sharing some problems that you are going to face when you are going to transition from the college life to the job life. Okay, so when you learn things from YouTube, when you learn things from paid courses, you actually build up things from scratch, right? Whether you are doing iOS development, whether you are doing any kind of development, web development, basically you develop things from scratch, which is really easy. Okay, like doing anything from scratch is very easy, but contributing to an existing code is very difficult. And then what happened, like when I got access to the code, I set up the code. It took me like 3 to 4 days to set up the code. So what happened again, my confidence was up. Like after setting up the code for 3 to 4 days, I was like, yes, now I can do anything, just give me the task. So I got my first task, which was like just to implement a search button. Okay, just to implement a search button inside a table. I thought, hey, what is this childish task? Like I am not going to do this. Like you can hire some more junior person, and I'm just 3 days old in the company. And I was like, hey, give me some challenging tasks. They said, no, this task is for you. This is like micro task. Like when you join the company, you get micro tasks, so you do this. So okay, like I learned from YouTube University, right? And like your YouTube University cannot teach you everything. So what happened, what I did is I said, okay, it's just an like searching in an array. Like a table is just an array. So I knew that in college, in YouTube University also, I have learned that how to search in an array. And I implemented it. I made a like whenever a user type in something, I used to traverse through the array. I used to search the thing and show on the display. And then what happened, I called my senior. I called him. Okay, and I said that done. And I was expecting that he'll like praise me. Okay, so I was expecting that he'll praise me, and I said I'll done. And like what I was expecting is he'll say, hey, done so fast, seriously, do you want a hike? So this is what I was expecting, but in return, like opposite happened. Okay, he said that it's okay if you have done this, like why did you call me for this small thing? At that time I realized that okay, I should not have called him. So what happened, he told me that do one thing, raise a PR. Okay, how many of you know what do you mean by raising a PR? How many of you know this term, raising a PR? Anyone? Okay, no, not even a single. Okay, so raising a PR basically means raise a pull request, okay, a merge request to the existing code. Have you used GitHub or Git any chance? Like any one of you have used Git or maybe some experience with open source, anything? No, no one of you is having any experience in that. Okay,
Yeah,
so what
not it.
happened? Like I was similar thing. So it happened similarly with me. So I said, hey, what is a PR? Okay, so, and at this time I was in a video call with my engineer, okay, with my senior. So when I said that, what do you mean by PR? The look that he gave me, okay, the look that he gave me, I understood that I won't be able to survive like more in this company. Okay, soon be fired. Okay, so I got to know that. So he said that you don't even know how to raise a PR. Like, what is a PR? Okay. And he was in self doubt that how they hired me. Okay. So I quickly explained what happened. What happened is that what happens, that pull request gets reviewed and then it is merged. So just by like following some YouTube videos, I managed to raise a PR, and again excited. So whenever I used to do some micro task, my like my confidence again to the moon, and I used to call my manager, and that is the like worst thing that you can do, like calling someone again and again. I said that, hey, I have raised a PR, can you please deploy that to the production? He said that, hey, do you even know how things work in industry? What do you think that you have just made a code and we are going to push that thing to the production to the users? Do you think that that is how things work? And I was like, yeah, that is how it works. Like in the YouTube or in like paid courses I have seen, what they do is they write a code, they push it to the Git or GitHub, and then they just take it live, and that is how things work. He said that, please come out of the like college life. Okay, please come out of the college life. That is not how things work in the companies. Okay. And that is like, at that point I came to know that every learning that I have done in the college, I have done it on a very scratch level, and there are a lot of things that I have skipped that I didn't knew that I have to do. So you all are good learners. Okay, you all are good learners. You'll like learn technologies, which like we will discuss about that in the like later in this video, that what technologies you should learn, what are in demand. But the thing is that how to learn, what to learn, right? So you all can learn, you have all access to the internet, you all have access to the YouTube. But the thing is that there are a lot of things that you usually skip, that you cannot learn just by when you are in college. So these were like, there are more problems that I'm going to discuss. Okay, I have just noted down, like I have made some bullet points so that I don't forget. So basically what happened, the problem is that first of all is that you don't know how to write code in the large code bases, right? And then like the optimizations, like I told you, that what I did is just to implement that search functionality, I traversed the array. Okay, and I what I said that, okay, I'll just search in the array. He said like, okay, so here things change. He said that if we have, let's say, 10 billion entries, or not 10 billion, let's say some thousand entries in our database, are you first going to fetch all those entries in the front end and then you are going to search? And I was like, hey, I never thought of these things, right? Because when you watch YouTube videos, when you try to code, you basically see the base level. Okay, you basically try to code, or you basically build applications on the base level that is only and only being used by you. But when you go into the industry, you have to think of real users, you have to think of multiple users, and these were some things that were really missing. So being a full stack developer, coming back to the topic, being a full stack developer does not only mean to just write code that works on the front end and back end. It means a lot. Okay, a full stack developer has a lot of responsibilities in very like in various fields. Okay, so this was the first point that see like, if you talk about a full stack development, just don't think that you know back end, you know front end, and you are a full stack developer. No, there are a lot of more things to it. Okay, so up till this point, am I clear that what problem we are going to talk about? Up till this point, are you all clear that what problem we are going to talk about? I'm not going to like teach anything in this particular session. Like I'm not going to teach you how to become like what like how to code or something. I want to teach you, I want to tell you a framework, my personal experiences that can help you to get your first job very easily. Okay, very, and have a smooth experience with your first job. Okay, so the thing is that when you talk about full stack development, first let's break this particular term into like smaller terms. Okay, so so when we talk about a full stack developer is a developer who is able to develop things fully. Okay, whether you give him a task for front end, he is able to do. Whether you give him a task for back end, he can do. Whether it's something related to database operations, he can do. And whether it is something related to non-development, for example DevOps, for example testing, for example talking with the customers. So full stack developer has a lot of responsibilities to do. Okay, so how basically you can learn these things, okay, how you can basically avoid the mistakes that I did in while I was in my college life. So let's say that you are currently in second year. Okay, I think you are just starting out with your second year. So what you can do is, first of all, you can choose a niche. Okay, you can choose a niche. What do you mean by with niche? I mean like whether you want to be into the web development part, whether you want to be in the iOS development part, whether you want to be in the Android development part, any development part. First, you have to make sure that what you want to do. Okay, that is very important, because if you keep jumping from one field to another field, okay, you are not going to master either of the one. Okay, so this is very important. Specialization is very important, because when we were in college it was really cool to like say like I know 30 languages, I know 40 languages. I really feel that was cool. Okay, so like for example, when someone used to ask me how many languages do I know, I used to say like I know JavaScript, I know Python, I know this, I know that, I know React Native, I know Flutter. But to be honest, the best part is that just stick to one programming language and just master it. Okay, so first point is that just pick up one language and master it, number one. Number two is that when you are basically doing something, build projects. Okay, build projects. So YouTube is the best teacher, college is the best teacher. So what you can do is, without like spending any money, what you should do is, you have picked up a language. Now you should try to build more and more projects, because this will give you the clear idea how things work. Okay, how things are going to work. Once you have done that, okay, once you have done that, now what to do? Okay, now the thing is that you know the basics of that programming language. And like I would highly recommend that you should go with JavaScript, because JavaScript has a very vast application, and it is like highly acceptable in the industries. Okay, so I would highly recommend that if you all can like choose JavaScript from the very beginning, it will be really beneficial for you, and you will land up your first job very quickly. Okay, so if you choose like let's say JavaScript, and you try to build more and more projects, okay, and you showcase those projects, that is cool. The next thing that no one discusses, that is what like I want to discuss next. Okay, so let's say that you have built a lot of projects. Now the problem is that you have no idea how things work in the industry, right? And to gather that experience, you need to work in industry. Have you seen that meme like an applicant goes to the manager and he says that we want to hire people with experience, right? And he gets rejected, and he says, how I'm going to gain experience when I'm not getting hired? And they are in an endless loop. He says that we want to hire experience, he says I want a job for experience, we want to hire experience, we want to get a job for experience. So when you are going to go in the fourth year, and you will sit and like you will sit for the placements, or maybe you will go for the off campus placements, they will ask for experience, but you will say that hey, we are college freshers, like we have just graduated, how you expect us to have that experience? And what if I say you that is actually possible? How you can gain industry experience without being a like with being a college student, or I can say like without being a industry experience? Can anyone like tell me like how you can achieve this thing? You want to have experience, you want to have industry experience, because see, when you're going to go in your fourth year now, the competition is too great. Okay, the competition is too high in this field. Okay, and everyone wants to hire someone who is experienced. Okay, so how you can gain experience while you are in college? Anyone? Anyone wants to contribute? I cannot listen you. Yeah, yeah, I can listen to the mic.
Is my audible? Is my voice audible?
Yes, yes,
Yes.
yes, yes, you are audible. Okay, how you are going to get an internship? Because for internships also you need to get a job. Like that is like kind of a pre-job, right? And for that you need to clear interviews. You need to like, and for even for the internship you have to do a full-time internship, right? And for that like you have to first do like you have to at least graduate. Okay, there is no company who will hire you as an intern like in second year. So that is again like See, from job I mean internship. Let's say that you want to crack your first internship. Even for that, you need to have experience. So how to gather that experience? Anyone? I'll tell you more things. Even you can earn right now without having job from the coding with experience of industry. Okay, so I'll tell you. So there is something known as open source contributions. Have you heard about this term? Okay, so do you know what exactly that is? What is like open source contribution? Okay, no. So I'll tell you, this is the best thing that you can do while in your college life. No matter what programming language you have chosen, no matter like what you are doing, what you are developing, maybe an Android app, maybe iOS, maybe into, maybe into web development, just try to make a portfolio. Okay, just try to make a portfolio into open source development. And trust me, if you start doing this today, opportunities will come to you. Okay, opportunities are going to come to you. Okay, because see, anyone can create a resume, and resumes are like you have to lie on your resume. Okay, let's just agree to this fact that all the resumes are just exaggerated. Okay, we don't really know those things that we just write in the resume. Okay, so in the like I have seen one trend that no one now asks for the resume. Okay, no one asks. Okay, so even like recently I have made a switch. Okay, I have just recently switched my company, and they never asked for my resume. Okay, my resume was never given to them. Okay, because they know that you are going to lie in your resume. You will write like, I know this, I know that, I know that, I have done this, I have gone to moon, I have gone to Mars. But in reality, everyone knows that, okay, this is all lie. So the thing is that you have to build a portfolio which works on a proof of concept, okay, which really proves that you have done something and which you cannot mutate. Okay, like for example, your resume, you can mutate, you can write anything, right? You can write anything. But when you do open source contributions, I'll tell you what is open source contributions. Basically, you are building a portfolio that has proof of work. Okay, you have a proof, and by any chance, no one can change that. Okay, whether you have done good work, no one can change that. Whether you have done bad work, no one can change that. And the best part is that that is publicly visible. Okay, once you start doing this thing, you will see that you're going to get a lot of freelancing emails, a lot of internship emails while you are just in your second year. So what is open source contributions is that a lot of companies, okay, a lot of companies, profitable companies, MNCs are open sourcing their code. By open sourcing, what do I mean? I mean that they are just putting up their code online publicly. Anyone can read that code, anyone can contribute to that code. This is very important. Okay, this is very important. For example, AWS, Amazon Web Services, they have recently open sourced their Amplify code. There's a company cal.com, their whole 100% code is open source. So what these companies do is they don't hide their code with public. Okay, so what they do is they basically take up their whole code base and they make it public. What you as a student, as a contributor can do is you can take a copy of that code, okay, and don't start your own company, okay. You can take a copy of that code and you can contribute some features to that particular thing. For example, the search functionality. Okay, let's say that you feel that a search functionality is not there, you can contribute there. You feel that there should be this particular feature that you are confident about, you can contribute. No one can stop you from contributing. Okay, it's not like, see, when you want to work in a company, okay, you have to first clear the interview round, you have to first clear all the rounds, you have to first get hired, right? But in open source, you can just get started today. So what all problems is solved is, first of all, you are going to get an industry like experience. Okay, because you will be working on a with a company who is fully profitable. Okay, you're not working on some dummy project who is what like that is made in your YouTube university or something. Okay, you are working on a real project, a profitable company. Secondly, you are working with a large code basis. Okay, you will understand that how really things work in the industry. Okay, so when you basically, let's say that you found a company, okay, whose course whose not course whose code is whole open source, and then you try to contribute in that, you will then understand that you know nothing, because things don't work that is like shown on YouTube or other paid courses. So you will put an extra effort to understand that, you will read some documentation, and then you will finally, let's say, you will finally contribute to some feature or something in that particular code. And then what you will do is you will raise a PR, and this time you will know that what is a PR. Okay, and there is no one like who will give you that looks. Okay, so you don't have any manager, you work at the comfort of your own. Okay, you don't have that anxiety, because when you're in office you have an anxiety. What anxiety? That they are going to fire me. Okay, this is an anxiety which will stay from the day one to day end. Okay, the day you join the company you will have an anxiety that these people are going to fire me. I don't know why, but yeah, that is true, that that anxiety is always there. Okay, so there is no anxiety, there is nothing there. You work like remotely, you work comfortable, right? Whenever you want to work, on whichever language you want to work, there is no interview process, there is no assessment process, there is no assessment process, there is no interview process. Now what happens, real people, real industry people are going to review your code, what you have done. They are going to point out your mistakes. Okay, and it's okay, they cannot scold you, because if you do such things in company, they are going to scold you, right? They'll say that, hey, what you have written. So when you do open source contributions, and if that thing, like let's say your code is getting reviewed, and if that code gets reviewed, your PR is merged, that means your code is merged, you will feel really proud that your code has been merged, has been contributed to a very big company, and real industry people are going to appreciate you. Okay, so this is the real PR. Okay, so when you do open source contributions, and if that thing that you have contributed to that company, you will get money. Okay, you will also get money, that person might give you some money. Okay, and the sum is actually a lot money, because you contributed to a feature. Plus, if you are contributing to a company regularly, okay, let's say you are regularly contributing to a company for 30 days, they might hire you. Okay, they might hire you. And even if they don't hire you, you have a portfolio that when you go for a job, you can say that, see, I have contributed in real code, I have real industry experience, my code is merged in that company. That means I know how to write industry standard code. So basically, as a college student, you can have industry experience, you can even earn money, and you are basically increasing the chances of your hire. Okay, so I would highly recommend ki, like from today itself, whatsoever you are learning, first of all, just try to contribute things to the open source. Okay, because you will then get to know that how the corporate world work. Okay, because YouTube University is very polite and is very good for beginners, but like that's not how things work in the industry. So if you want to become a full stack developer, I would say that first of all start with the front end. Okay, so what do you mean by front end? Basically, you can learn HTML, CSS, JavaScript. You can go with JavaScript, and like then you have to learn. You can learn React, which is a very powerful framework. You can go with Next.js. Do you guys know like what is React and Next.js? How many of you know React? Very less. And Next.js? Very few, I guess. Okay, so like what you can do is from today only. Okay, so from today only, what you can do, you can just start with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and like you can first learn HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Then you can go with React and Next.js, and then you can go to the backend. Now, why I'm saying that you should do web development, right? Why I'm not saying that you can go with Android? Why I'm saying that you should go with iOS is, if at beginning you choose Android or iOS, you are basically creating a friction for yourself. Creating mobile applications is not easy. You need a very high end laptops, you need a very good programming, like you need to have high understanding of how programming languages work, and you need to have like you need to learn like Kotlin or maybe Swift to learn that, and the scope is very less. Okay, so like if you are in second year, I will not recommend you going into the mobile development or any other development part. I would highly recommend, if you go with the web development path, the things are going to be really easy for you. Okay, because I have seen like what is the trend in the industry, and usually like most of the startups, most of the companies hire web developers. Okay, because only a like highly profitable company is going to build a like mobile application. Usually there are websites. Okay, so I think web development is best, because you don't need to have very high understanding of any programming language, and you can just get started, because like even if you have a very basic laptop, you can just get started with the web development. Okay, it's very easy to get started. So the main point is that just get started. Okay, so start with web development, do HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, React Native, and then for the backend, like you can go either with Python or with Node.js. Okay. But I would recommend if you can go with Node.js, that is good because again, that has high scope in the market. Plus, you know JavaScript, right? Because you have been doing JavaScript on the front end, you know JavaScript on the back end. And then you can like learn about databases like MongoDB, you can learn about Postgres, then you can like learn about cloud, that is like AWS. So basically what I mean to say is that just create step by step process. Okay, don't rush. You have a lot of time. You have like 2 years, not two, even like you have easily 1 year. Okay, so in just 1 year you can become a full stack developer. But the only thing that is going to differentiate you from others is that others only know how to code, but you will know how things work in the industry, because ultimately that is the most important thing. Okay, that is something that I really lacked. I did full stack development from everywhere possible, paid courses, YouTube, and everywhere possible. But the only thing that I didn't do in my college was that I didn't do open source contributions. I had no idea how things work in, industries, and I got fired very soon from that company. And I think that is the most important thing that I learned from that company. And if you want to learn about full stack development, so in this we are going to start with DSA. Okay, so most of you are going to, I suppose that many of you want to go into the competitive programming world. Maybe you want to crack FANG companies. So we are going to like go there also. But till here, is there any question or is there any doubt or is there anything that I skipped that you want to ask me? Please feel free to do that. I think there is a hand raised behind.
Sir, can you please give us a few resources to, I mean, like for someone who is just beginner and want to improve their soft skills and be a full stack developer? Resources.
Okay. Resources. See, resources is like initially you can go with like YouTube, okay, because you understand better when you watch videos. So YouTube
I mean,
is
like
a very good. Sorry.
industrial. I mean, like we gain somewhere which we gain industrial experience to
Okay.
along.
For industrial experience, like you mean to say for like open source, right? Like how you can contribute.
Yes.
Okay. So if you like, let's say that you have some skills, okay, you already know coding, you have some soft skills. So the best is that like there is a company that is cal.com. Okay. So I even have videos on my YouTube channel, but the only problem is that that videos are in Hindi, and I think you won't be able to understand those. So there is a company cal.com. So the tech stack is very simple. Like they have Next.js, JavaScript, and on the backend also they have JavaScript. So what you can do is, okay, see, the best thing to understand something is to do it practically. Okay, because like if you just keep on reading something, you like, let's say if I give you some website links where you can read, that will not give you practical experience, right? So the best is go to GitHub. Okay, first of all, learn little bit of GitHub and Git. Then just go to this company that is cal.com. Why I'm emphasizing on cal.com? This is not a sponsored or something. Take care, they are not giving me any money for this. The thing is that they have very simple code, very good code, plus their community is really active. What you can do is you can try to contribute things to their code. Okay, because they have very good code, as I told, and they have very basic things that you can contribute. And I 100% assured you that even if you have basic skills, you can contribute. So if you start contributing in that company, over time you can increase difficulty level for yourself. Like for example, when you're getting started, you can choose a difficulty level, like some basic issues to solve, some basic features to give, right? When you gain some experience, when you gain some confidence, you can just level up, you can like make more features for them. I think that is the best thing that you can do if you have some soft skills, if you have some uh, prior experience. I hope that this is something that you were asking, or did I go off track?
Thank you, sir.
And the best part about cal.com is that they give you real money. Okay. Every time you contribute, your contribution, if merged, you get good money. And usually for one contribution, they give like INR 2000 to 3000 rupees, which is good. Like just for one contribution, if you're getting 2000, 3000 rupees, I think it's very good. Any other question? Why I'm thinking that you guys are getting bored.
No.
Okay.
So actually,
So
we started the
hmm,
GitHub today itself because they are in the second year, first semester only. Just now they completed HTML and CSS. That's it. Okay. So
okay.
today we have given some introduction about the open source contribution, and we started with Git. Only one class is completed.
Okay. One thing that I really want to mention is that no university is actually teaching this, okay, the open source development and all.
Yes,
Because
yes.
it's okay also. It's okay also because a university has a duty of keeping everyone at same level, right? Because there are students who know a lot of things programming, like in programming already, but there are a lot of students also those who are just new and getting started. But I feel that there should be boot camps, there should be a lot of like there should be lectures on open source contribution, because like portfolio matters, okay, proof of concept matters, okay. Seriously, like when you will be in fourth year, you will remember this, okay. The ones those will have like open source contributions on their resume, those will have some experiences in open source, those who have proof of work, the job process is really going to be easy for you, okay, because interviewer, like on the very first go, he will know that this particular guy or this particular girl is already having that skills, so your interview process is going to be very, very easy. Okay, let's talk about DSA. How many of you are doing DSA, data structures and algorithms? Okay, not many. I want to ask you one thing that can you come up, like can you like come to the mic, that in the middle one? Yeah, you. Yes, yes. On the third row. I mean, in the third row, second seat.
Yes, sir.
Hi. I want to ask you one thing, that you are doing DSA, right?
Yes, sir.
Why you are doing DSA?
Like we had data structures in our second semester, so at the time we started it. So as we heard from our seniors and from many other people who are currently in industry that DSA is very important to get a job. To get a high paid job, DSA is really important.
Okay. So you are doing DSA because you want to get a high paid job. Like I guess maybe like in FANG, like Facebook, Amazon, or Google, kind of a company, right?
Not like that. To get some job initially
Okay.
to get.
See, okay, I'll tell you one thing, that trends are changing. Okay. Trends are changing. You can sit down. Thank you. The trends are changing. I have seen DSA is important, but what is important is that if you talk about DSA versus development, okay, there are two types of students. One who do DSA, who do competitive programming, and there are students who do development, who build projects. Usually, what we have seen till today is that those who are doing DSA gets like selected in the FANG and Google like companies. The one who are do development, they usually go into the startups or they end up building their own startups. Okay. The thing is, we should not say that DSA versus development. Okay. We should rather say DSA with development. This part is very important. Okay. If you are just doing DSA, there are high chances that in the coming time, companies are going to reject you, because as like coming back to the like earlier topic, open source, Amazon like companies are also open sourcing their projects. Okay. They are also hiring people via open source contributions, because what happens when you are good in DSA, it basically means that you have good skills, okay, you have good mathematical skills, you have good logical skills, which is good. But if you cannot implement your DSA skills in your development, there is no use of either DSA or development. Okay. Like when I was in college, I used to ignore DSA because I was not really good at it. Okay. I was not good at DSA and I was a development guy. So what I used to do, I used to develop a lot of projects and I used to showcase, like, for example, I built a YouTube downloader, I built some micro projects and I used to showcase them. So what happened when I was in, like, I selected in the I got selected in the company based on these things only, based on these skills. So what happened? The thing is that I lacked those optimization skills in my development, because DSA, like raw DSA is never used, right? If you get selected in Google also, you are not going to invert any binary tree, or you are not going to search something. Basically, it reflects in your development skills. So that thing was not there into my skills. Okay. And what happened? I started doing DSA, but I got bored and I left it again. So I go to Google and I searched that is DSA important. So on the Quora, I was reading a discussion and there was a very good quote that hit me very hard. It was like, any monkey can write a code which is not optimized. Okay. And I was really feeling that I am that monkey. Okay. Because even if I give a person, a non-technical person, a laptop and a YouTube video, that just watch this YouTube video and whatever he's typing, just type. Basically, without actually understanding the things, without optimizing, anyone can write a code. And I came to know that yes, I'm that monkey. So at that point, I started learning DSA. But the thing was that I was really harsh on myself. Okay, I was just doing DSA and I got a little bit bored. Okay, so thing was that one thing I have understood is that do DSA, right? Do DSA. Are you doing development, by the way? Like you said, you are doing DSA. Are you doing development? Like side by side, like are you doing development, or are you going to do development also?
Yes, sir. Uh,
Okay, so you
as
are doing development.
with
Sorry.
HTML, as sir said, we have completed HTML and CSS, and we have started with.
Okay. So the point here is that what happened when I was just doing DSA, I was getting bored, right? So what I did is I basically tried doing things parallelly. So what I used to do is, okay, this is this was very good for me. Okay, this really worked for me. Whatever project I'm building from YouTube, okay, I used to I try to, like, incorporate, merge my DSA skills there. So for example, let's say like I started a topic of linked list, right? So let's say I'm doing linked list, I'm learning linked list. But the thing is that, you watch some linked list video, you do some linked list, you do on Geeks for Geeks, maybe you travel a linked list. Like, what was the use of that? So I used to make projects then after that, how can I implement this DSS skill, this linked list concept in real life? Okay. And that was really interesting. And this really helped me to build projects which were highly scalable. And with this, you can actually increase your pay. Okay, maybe you will get XYZ amount by doing DSA. Maybe you will get some ABC amount by doing development. But the thing is, trust me, you are going to like a very high. Okay, you are going to go very high. So this is very important, and this is something that everyone lacks. See, I have been like teaching students on YouTube. Like I have a student community, right? So everywhere there are two types of students: one doing competitive programming, one doing development. But the thing is, the developers don't know how to implement DSA skills, and the DSA people don't know how to develop projects. And net what happens? There is no use of both of these, right? The thing is, the best part is that who knows how to implement these two things. So whenever you are doing DSA, I would highly recommend you to build up projects based on DSA. Okay, you can build a lot of projects based on DSA. And for DSA, like what you are you doing some competitive programming, or do you have some camp in your college for DSA?
Yes.
Okay,
So
you
we have
have some.
special program, so which starts in second year and up to 3-2, especially for the competitive programming.
Okay. Okay, cool. Actually, in our college, actually, we were more emphasized on building projects. Like they usually don't like we like I was also on like I was from tier three college, and they also like focus more on development. But I feel that development with DSA is really important, right? So the netment part is that if I tell you like the crux of today's session, if I tell you in like a summary, that if you really want to learn, right, if you want to get into the technical field, what you should do is start by watching some videos. Okay, start by watching some YouTube videos or maybe paid courses, build some projects, and then once you are done with building projects, Okay, what you can do is you can go to the open source world. Okay, just go to the open source world, because as a developer, not only writing code is important, writing efficient code is equally important. Plus, understanding the requirement is also important. Okay, you need to understand what you are building. Okay, so when you go to open source, you see big projects, you see how things are working in industry, you try to understand new requirement, you build up that, you raise PRs, you get criticized sometimes. Okay, you get like sometimes they are even harsh, right? Sometimes they say that this is not good. You optimize that, your code gets merged. So and then like if that gets merged, you even get paid. So I think as a second year student, whatever you are doing, if you are doing open source side by side, that is the best thing that you can do for yourself. Seriously, you have plenty of time. Okay, you have like you are in second year, you have 2 more years, and if you do this, your life is gonna change for sure, like 100% guarantee on this one. Earning money while in college, plus having a guarantee of job while in the fourth year, what else do you want? So if you really get want to get started with open source, like you can tell me, I can really guide you up. Okay, I can help you in getting your first open source contribution. You can see that how open source world works, because I assume that like you are in second year, that's okay, that you don't know, like you don't have know any like what is open source and how to contribute in that. So if you want, I can really guide you up, so that initially in whatsoever field, whether web development, whether backend, whether front end, you can get started with that.
Yeah, thank you.
So I hope that I'll be seeing a lot of open source contributions from your college.
Yeah, can you show some light on the Hacktoberfest so that people will be interested?
Yeah, Hacktoberfest. It's very great. Okay, so I attended Hacktoberfest when I was in third year. Sorry.
If you remember, we had a discussion on this one also from your channel.
Yeah.
Okay, we
Yes.
want
Yes.
just better we host a August fest this time or September fest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyone knows what is Hacktoberfest? Anyone?
Oh, no.
No. Okay. Are you like? Do you want to get free T-shirts, free mugs, free stickers? Anyway, anyone who wants this? Yeah, everyone. So then
Everyone.
have to then Hacktoberfest is for you. So basically what happens, it's a basically a community. Okay, Hacktoberfest. So it happens in month of October, every year in October. That's why it's Hacktoberfest, and Digital Oceans is the main sponsor of this. So what happens is when October starts, you can sign up free on the Hacktoberfest, and there you will see a lot of companies, okay, where you can open sourcely contribute. So what Hacktoberfest says is that while you are in month of October, just contribute to open source as much as you can. And once the October month ends, your PRs get reviewed. Okay, they see that in month of October how many open source contributions you have done, how much you have contributed to open source, and based on that, if you have done good tasks, okay, you have done good contributions, you get free T-shirts, mugs, stickers, and these stuff at your home with a certificate, with some digital assets, like you get some credits in Digital Oceans and all that. And that is really good to show off, like because as a dev, it's really cool to have these kind of swags right on your laptop while you're in college. So like currently August is going on and October is coming, so before that you can actually get yourself ready how to do open source contributions. And in the month of October you can just go and go on contributing. You will earn money side by side, like because you are contributing, but side by side you are also going to get a lot of swags and a lot of more things. Even you get like that time these were the only things. Sometimes they change, like they give even more things. Okay, so like that is really cool to have, but that is only for 1 month. That is the worst part.
Yes. Well, last year also, a couple of our students got that facts.
Okay, sorry, your voice is not clear to me. Can you come up again, please?
Yeah, last year, a couple of our students got the stacks also.
Oh, that's great.
In the open source competition by Hacktoberfest.
Ah, nice. No, that's really cool. Actually, there are even more companies who send you swags, because like to be honest, whether we are mature enough, but still we have a child inside who wants these swags. Okay, even I do. Like there is a company WOP. They build up terminals. So what they said is that if you contribute to us, we will send you swags. And I said, okay, I will do. I'll for sure do. And this is like the I think this is like last week only. So, but what happened, with me, I contributed, I got selected. They said, we are sending you swags, but because you are from India, you have to pay the custom duty only. And the custom duty on that swags were, and I said, okay, it's okay, you can keep it. So that's cool. Actually, open source is really cool. Like you enjoy that. Okay. You never get bored. You really enjoy that. So that is the best path that you can follow. I would like highly, highly, highly recommend that. Go with open source. Just like after the session, just go to YouTube and just search what is open source, how to do open source contributions, and really you are going to enjoy it. You'll get a guarantee. When you start doing this, you will get a guarantee that my job is secured.
Even last year, a couple of our students submitted their documentation for the GSOC also, but
Okay.
unfortunately, they not cleared that.
GSOC is like little bit, I think they are not really welcoming, I feel. I have never contribute, like I also never got selected in GSOC. The thing is that the companies there are like very weird, to be honest. Like, what they do is, like, for example, there was a company I remember, organization Postman. Do you know Postman? Anyone? Not that postman that comes to your home with a mail. There's a software Postman. So that's a like API testing software. So like I enrolled in that. Okay. And what the task they gave me was to update the documentation. So that like it really didn't excited me. And in return also like, very like, I don't think so that is really good. Okay. You can try GSOC, but like my personal experiences are not really good with GSOC. I'm more like Hacktoberfest because you get stickers and shirts, of course. And one tip, always order shirt size one less because their shirt sizes are very loose. Okay. An extra tip. And the thing is that open source contributions in cal.com like companies is very good because they have a good pay.
So, can we plan a session on open source?
Sure, I would love to have a session on open source. We can like okay, so we can do one thing. You can all give yourself a challenge that let's say in next 6 months you're going to learn skills that is like requirement that is required to contribute open source, because if you don't have skills you cannot contribute, right? So you need to have at least basic skills either in front end or in back end. So you can take a challenge that for next 6 months you are going to train yourself for like maybe a front end or back end development, whatsoever excites you. After 6 months we can have a session again and we can like then start contributing. If you want to have a session earlier also, I'm ready for it. I can show you my contributions, I can show you a live contribution. But I would be happy, and you will also be like happy if you can contribute side by side, right? You will like understand more things, how things work. Actually, I also made a YouTube video on that. So it was like 11 o'clock at night, and I saw that there was an issue. So I just quickly set up my mic and my camera, and I just recorded a YouTube video. And while on that YouTube video, I solved a bug, and I earned money there. So it
Yeah,
was really exciting. Like it was, yeah. But
and
that video is in Hindi.
these yeah, I understand Hindi. Okay, and currently these second year students, their seniors actually, three students they have attended our complete course on open source, and that
Okay.
you got that money also, na, after matching your request, like call.com.
Hmm.
Yes.
No, no, I'm not able to hear you. There's a lag in voice, I guess.
Their seniors also,
Hmm.
they participated in the your open source course that was live in, I mean, YouTube live was there, na,
Okay.
open source contribution. A couple
Okay.
of
Okay. Yeah.
seniors.
Okay. You
They
shared. I think yeah, you shared it with me as well. Yeah.
yes, yes.
Right. 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 No, like it's okay. Like the second year is just started, I guess.
Yes.
Okay, it is just started. It's okay. Like you can master anything in 6 months. I think 6 months is a good time to like master anything. Let's schedule one more session on open source.
Yeah. Thank you.
Any any questions that you want to ask, or anything like from inside the industry that you want to ask? Like maybe you are curious to ask about anyone.
Anyone?
Yes, sir. What were your basic projects? Like, what have you started at the beginning?
When I started my job.
Not, sir. While you were a student.
Okay. Mern stack. Like in Mernstack, you have MongoDB, you have Node.js on the backend, you have React on the front end. So basically, like full web development, like one database, one backend, one front end. Like this was my stack. So and like first of all, like in the first year, I was really hopping. Like first, like sometimes doing Android development, sometimes iOS development, sometimes there. But then I feel that I should like stick to one thing, and I stuck to like web development. And as I told from YouTube University, I was just building up more and more and more projects. So yeah, I had a lot of projects in my resume on this stack. So uh, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and React, Node.js, MongoDB. And on this only, like I got stuck. I like there was no other thing that I could learn because Mernstack was very hyped up or very trending at that time. It's still Mernstack is really trending right now also. And I was just like building projects on these things.
Anyone else?
Hi, sir.
Yeah, hi.
What advice would you give to someone who wants to start contributing to open source?
Hello.
What would you advise to someone who want to contribute to their open source?
The best advice that I want to give is that just start today. Because when you talk about open source, sometimes we wait to get perfect, right? And wait, like let's make ourselves more perfect. Let's learn this. Let's make self art more perfect. Because the best part about open source is that it like there is no real person, right? There is no, like for job you have to prepare for a job, you have to clear the rounds, you have to do a lot of things, you have to uh, score like you have to score good grades and all. So if you want to get started with open source, the only and only prerequisite is that you at least have a basic knowledge on some kind of stack. That is the only prerequisite. And just get started. Just don't wait, I would say.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Sir, in your LinkedIn post, in your LinkedIn profile, I have saw that you had done Flutter development. What exactly is Flutter development, and where can we learn it?
Flutter, right?
Flutter is
Okay, so the Flutter is a framework. Okay, so what is Flutter? Is Flutter is a, like you can say that it's a language that is developed by Google. So what you can do is you can build mobile applications with Flutter. Okay, what is what is special about Flutter is that there are two types of application. Like you can build two types of application in mobile. One is hybrid application and one is native. Native basically means that runs natively, like that is built natively. What do you mean? For example, if I choose Kotlin language for Android, that is native. If I choose Swift language for iOS, that is native. But as you can see that there is one problem, that just to build two applications for two different platforms, I have to code my whole code twice in different languages. So languages like Flutter and React Native, what they allow you is that you can just write your code once and you can run same code on your iOS phone, and you can run same code on the Android. So Flutter is a mobile development language, okay, which is hybrid in nature. That means you write once and you can build both application at once. One single code base for both the applications, Android as well as iOS. So that is Flutter. For Flutter, if you want to get started with Flutter, you use Google Pay. Do you? I'm not asking for money. Okay, I'm just giving an example. Like Google Pay is built on Flutter. Okay, don't say like I'm asking, don't think that I'm asking for any money. Okay, so if you have used Google Pay, so Google Pay is built on Flutter, and if you know Flutter, you will have a good chance like to get hired by Google and like companies using Flutter. But for that, you need to have one language, that is Dart. So Flutter internally uses Dart programming language, Dart.
Hello, sir. Um,
Hi.
Actually, full stack development is like what we work on both front end and back end website, right? With full great skills and has a great job security. But as technology is too enhancing these days, and this is an era of artificial intelligence, my doubt is will AI replace this full stack developer?
Okay, so you think that AI can replace your job? See, do you know that I'll tell you one thing? Do you know about Photoshop by any chance? Photoshop application?
Yes, sir. I just heard about it.
Yeah. So, you know, when Photoshop came in, usually all the photographers thought that their job is going to be taken away because everyone can like use Photoshop and edit their own photos. But in reality, what happened? Photoshop became a companion tool for photographers. Now today, let's say that there are two type of photographers. One photographer who knows how to use Photoshop like a master, like a pro, but there is one photographer who does not know how to use Photoshop. What do you think? Which photographer you are going to hire?
Obviously, master.
Exactly. So today, if ChatGPT and AI tools are coming in, let's say you are a programmer, you are a developer who is just writing code, who is not using the advantages of AI, you're soon going to be replaced. But if you are a programmer who's using AI side by side as your companion, you are never going to be replaced. Okay. So thing is that you need to see this is a new skill in the market that you should definitely learn. That it is like prompt engineering. You should know how to talk to machines, how to talk to a bot. And honestly, I use chat gpt a lot in my day-to-day work. Okay, so what happens like whenever I'm stuck in some job, let's say like I wrote a code, right, and I think that more things can be done, it can be more efficient. So what I do is I have a debate with chat gpt. I paste my code there, just that snippet, okay, and I ask that, hey chat gpt, can you make it more optimized? Sometimes ChatGPT gives a very weird answer and very wrong answers, but basically it gives me a point that yes, some things can be done. So basically what I have seen is that it is not replacing my job, it is making me more more efficient. It is making me more efficient, it is giving me power. So you have to learn like these things, how to talk to these bots, and no one can replace you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Any more questions?
Do you want to
No
see
more.
my ChatGPT history?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, you can share it.
Okay, sure, I'll just share it quickly. Share screen. Okay, just confirm if you can see my screen.
Yes.
Okay, so you can see that, for example, let's say that some React query is stuck in the post state. Okay, so like this is a very short. So for example, what I can do is I can go here. Okay, this is something related to JSON-B, like how to append something to JSON-B, right? So you can see that I ask him like I have this table, I want to append this. Okay, this sometimes give wrong answers as well. So you need to correct it. It will give you more answers, right? Then you have like for example, I had a very good example here. Yeah, so I was building one integration with Zapier. So you can see that these are all debates. Okay, these are all like ideas. So what I do is basically I can say that this ChatGPT is my companion. I ask him, like for example, let's say a requirement comes to me from my company. So what I do is I'll ask ChatGPT how you are going to solve this problem. And side by side, without looking at that, I also write my own approach. So what I do is I basically say that, okay, there are chances when my approach is good, there are chances when ChatGPT's approach is good. And mostly what happens there, the best approach is a hybrid. Okay, taking some things from ChatGPT, taking some my learnings, and that is how basically I use ChatGPT in my day-to-day life. You can see there is a lot of conversations. Like this scrolling is endless. Okay, you will see that this scrolling is endless. So on daily basis, I use ChatGPT. Okay, I use ChatGPT. So you can see that there are a lot of things that I have learned with ChatGPT. So I feel that this is something that you should definitely learn. I hope I was able to answer your question.
Yeah. Any more questions? No more questions. Yes.
Okay, no more questions.
Yeah.
So
So
let's
again,
end. Sorry.
yeah. Yeah, continue.
Okay. So let's end today's session with one thing. Okay. So for the next 6 months, I expect that you all are going to at least master one skill, any field, whether it's in Flutter, whether it's in web development, whether it's in iOS development. You're going to at least master one skill, and you're going to build projects. Okay. You are going to, like, try to integrate your DSA knowledge with that. Maybe, or when you are in third year, we can have a session again on open source and we can start contributing open source.
Definitely.
I
So
hope I
thank
didn't bore you too much today.
No. It's very interesting, and the students are also enjoyed a lot.
Okay, that's great.
So actually, I have not expected this much engagement in this session. Okay, couple of sessions also earlier we conducted, but students felt bored. But your session is really interactive, and they enjoyed a lot.
Oh, thank you so much, sir. I hope you are honest.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, cool. Okay, so I would ask permission. So let's meet in some other session. Okay. So thank you so much, everyone. You are a very good audience, and thank you for your questions.
Really. Yeah, 1 minute.
Thank you all for joining this webinar today. I hope you find it quite informative and helpful. We are lucky to have Mr. Piyush Garg, a full stack developer, to share his expertise today. So I would like to take this opportunity to thank Nagaraju sir and Mr. Piyush Garg to have his time on us. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, so okay, bye bye, everyone.
Yeah, thank you, Piyush. Once again, I extend my hearty thanks, heartfelt thanks.
Okay,
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, definitely in future we want to have few more sessions like this.
sure, sure,
Interactive.
for sure.
Yeah. So because in our college we are also have a GDSC, Google
Okay.
Developership. So it's a very active club in our campus. Okay,
Oh,
as
that's
part of
great.
yeah. Recently, earlier it was not there, but in this latest edition we have, taking the initiative of introducing the open source lead also. So as part of that, we are going to conduct a couple of sessions on open source as well.
Right.
Okay.
Very.
So
Yeah.
definitely we request you to extend your help.
Yeah, yeah, sure. For happily, happily.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Bye bye.
Bye. Bye. మరి ఎంతమంది స్టూడెంట్స్ కి సెషన్ ఎంజాయ్ చేశారు లేకపోతే ఎంతమంది బోర్ ఫీల్ అయ్యారు? ఏసీ బాగుందని ఎంజాయ్ చేయడం, ఏసీ బాగుందని ఎంజాయ్ చేయడం కాదు కదా. ప్లీజ్ గో టు హిస్ యూట్యూబ్ ఛానల్.